Number 17 literally made me gasp because I thought I was looking at a throwback photo until I saw the date. We're talking about celebrity kids who didn't just inherit their parents' last names. They straight up copied and pasted their entire face. Like, these aren't just family resemblances, these are genetic clones walking around looking exactly like their famous parents did in the 90s. I mean, some of these are so wild that even their own families can't tell them apart. And wait till you see number 1, because this one actually hurts different for reasons you won't expect. So let's get into it.
Well, I was behind the scenes for the first 2 years, so I was sort of on the sidelines hovering, so it was really good to be in front of the camera, but yeah, I loved it.
Starting strong with Damian and Elizabeth Hurley, because people genuinely thought they were siblings for years. Damian has his mom's exact face. The blue eyes, the bone structure, the flowing hair, everything. Recently, he wore a Versace suit covered in giant gold safety pins as a tribute to his mom's legendary safety pin dress moment. You know the one. He directed his first movie and cast his mom in it, saying their twin-like connection made filming easy because they read each other's minds. Elizabeth still has this hilarious rule that the TV can't be turned on until 6 p.m. at her country house. And yes, this applies to her adult son. They coordinate outfits for every red carpet and honestly look more like twins than mother and son. The internet can't get over it, and neither can I. But trust me, this is just the warm-up. Hold on, because Lila walked the Victoria's Secret fashion show right before her mom, Kate, and watching them back-to-back was like watching the same person in 2 different decades. Lila came out in pink with a fringe jacket, then Kate appeared to I Love Rock and Roll, and the crowd lost it. The bone structure, the pout, the walk, it's all identical. Here's the wild part. Lila didn't realize her mom was famous until she was like 8. When friends asked about Kate Moss, the supermodel, Lila was like, "How do you know who she is? She's old and boring." I mean, imagine. Now Lila's walking Paris Fashion Week and wearing her insulin pump on the runway, changing the game for representation while looking exactly like 90s Kate. Kate admitted she gets nervous watching Lila walk. She was literally screaming in her kitchen with friends during Lila's debut. The jeans are unreal. And speaking of legendary jeans, this is the one that made me check the date twice. Kaia recently showed up at an event looking so much like Cindy Crawford from the 90s that I gasped. They had matching bouncy waves, old Hollywood curls, similar makeup. Kaia was in red sequins, Cindy in gold, but their faces were copy-paste. She debuted a haircut people literally nicknamed the Cindy because it's the exact bob her mom wore back in the day. Cindy admitted she looks at Kaia's hair and thinks, "I want my old hair back," which is such a wild thing to say about your own daughter. And Kaia uses this to her advantage. If she wants to try a new style, she just looks up 90s Cindy photos to see if it'll work. She said, "If it looks good on her, I can pull it off too." The only way to tell them apart, Kaia said, "My mom's the one with the mole. That beauty mark is literally the only difference." And honestly, that's insane. But wait until you see this next one, because even co-stars got confused. I am not even kidding. Jennifer Aniston admitted she did a double take on a photo of Ava thinking it was Reese. That's how identical they are. Ava recently made her acting debut wearing a pink sparkly bikini that was basically Elle Woods from Legally Blonde, down to the chunky necklace and high ponytail. The homage was perfect because Ava looks exactly like early 2000s Reese. But here's the thing. Both of them claim they don't see the resemblance that much, which is actually insane. Ava said, "When we're separated, we'll text, 'What are you wearing?' and realize we picked the same thing." Ava made her red carpet debut with her boyfriend, and people commented she looks more like Reese than Reese does. Reese has joked she loves being mistaken for Ava because it makes her feel so young. And when Ava gets frustrated by comparisons, Reese tells her to call Zoe Kravitz because she deals with the same thing. It's like there's a support group for celebrity kids who look too much like their parents. And speaking of coffee runs with your clone, Violet Affleck is her mom's exact twin, and the genes are so strong, it's scary. Recently, Violet was spotted on coffee runs with Jennifer wearing almost matching outfits. White tops, high-waisted pants, glasses, everything. The only difference? Violet towers over her 5'8" mom because she got Ben Affleck's height. But the face? Pure Jennifer Garner. Same dimples, same warm eyes, same energy from when her mom was stealing hearts in rom-coms. What makes Violet interesting is she's a serious activist. She's spoken at county meetings about protecting vulnerable people because she's reportedly dealt with a health condition herself. She wears masks in public not for trends, but because she genuinely cares. Jennifer calls her a self-starter, and you can tell the resemblance isn't just physical, it's in how they carry themselves with quiet strength. The internet is obsessed with their coffee run photos because they look like sisters, except one is way taller now. But if you think that twin energy is strong, wait till you see what this next girl did with her mom's vintage closet. Apple Martin wore her mom Gwyneth's exact black Calvin Klein dress from the 90s to a premiere recently, and the internet lost it. The same minimalist gown Gwyneth wore to a premiere almost 30 years ago ago, and Apple looked like she stepped out of a time machine. The blonde hair, blue eyes, statuesque frame, it's all there. Apple is currently a law student, but she's also doing major fashion campaigns playing on the shared closet concept with her mom. Gwyneth said Apple's favorite things to steal are her old 90s Calvin Klein pieces, which she pairs with Doc Martens to make them current. Here's the wild part. Karl Lagerfeld met Apple when she was 4 and declared one day she'd be a Chanel girl. That prophecy came true, and she's been at Paris Fashion Week ever since. Gwyneth posts about Apple constantly calling her strong and inspiring. They share not just a face, but this sophisticated minimalist aesthetic that makes them one of the most elegant pairs in Hollywood. Sunday Rose made her runway debut at 16, and she didn't just walk any show, she opened for Miu Miu at Paris Fashion Week. That's massive for a first-timer. When you see her walk, you immediately think of Nicole Kidman in her prime. Sunday has her mom's height, poise, that elegant presence Nicole brought to every red carpet back in the day. Recently, she walked for Christian Dior, and people couldn't stop talking about the resemblance. Here's the backstory. Nicole had a strict rule that Sunday couldn't attend a fashion show until she turned 16. So her first show was literally her sweet 16 present. Can you imagine? Your first fashion show is a major house, and you're opening shows by 16. Sunday styles her hair straight, which gives her a current vibe, but the bone structure and height are pure Nicole. She's done Miu Miu and Dior in 1 year, which is unheard of for someone that young, and she's handling it like a total pro, just like her mom. This one breaks my brain because Jack Quaid is an optical illusion. Depending on the angle, he's either 100% Dennis Quaid or 100% Meg Ryan. Fans constantly point out that when he smiles, he's Meg, but when he scowls, he's Dennis. Jack himself admits, some people see mom, some people see dad. The funniest part? Jack revealed he refuses to run lines with his parents because it's too weird to have Meg Ryan read lines for his show. Can you imagine? Meg defended him from Nepo baby accusations, saying Jack is his own person, and his talent stands alone. He's avoided rom-coms, which is his mom's genre, and sports dramas, which is his dad's genre, focusing on sci-fi and horror instead to carve his own path. But the resemblance is so strong that Reddit has entire threads debating this, with people saying he is so Meg Ryan, but he's so Dennis Quaid as well. It's like watching two Hollywood icons merged into one person. And if you think merged genes are wild, wait till you hear this voice. Maya Hawke sounds exactly like Uma Thurman, and that's what gets people first. When she played Robin in Stranger Things, her raspy voice was pure Uma, but the resemblance goes deeper. She has her mom's wide eyes, her bone structure, that ethereal presence Uma brought to her most iconic roles. Fans say they can't unsee Uma every time Maya is on screen. Recently, there were rumors about Maya potentially starring in a hypothetical sequel as the daughter of Uma's character. Maya's response, "I've known Quentin my whole life, and if he ever wanted to work with me, of course I would love to." The one piece of advice Uma gave Maya before working with Tarantino, keep your shoes on. It was a hilarious nod to the director's famous love of filming bare feet. Maya credits her mom for her mystical sensibility about nature, saying Uma is an extraordinary gardener who introduced her to the outdoors. The resemblance isn't just physical, it's in their energy, their creativity, their whole vibe. But if you thought that was deep, wait till you see this genetic lottery winner. Hold on, because Shiloh Jolie has Angelina's lips and Brad Pitt's jawline, which is basically winning the genetic lottery twice. Recently, Shiloh underwent a style transformation, moving from her androgynous era into a look that mirrors Angelina's 90s goth glam phase. She's gone viral for dance videos where her movement is distinct and powerful. Her choreographer praised her dedication, but it's her appearance that has people shook. With a shaved head growing out, she looks like Angelina in that iconic hacker movie. Reports describe her as the spitting image, especially the teeth and mouth. The iconic moment? Shiloh re-wore and altered her mom's Dior gown for a red carpet event. Angelina's reaction was quintessential. Cool mom. Wear it and wear it better than me. Take it, it's your turn. Recently, Shiloh legally dropped Pitt from her last name, becoming just Shiloh Jolie, aligning herself even closer to her mother's brand. Scientists obsess over Shiloh because she represents a perfect blend of dominant traits in ways that seem almost impossible. She keeps a low profile, letting her dance videos speak for her. Mysterious, just like Angelina before social media existed.
Yeah, can we both see the scowl at the same time? Do it to camera 6 right there.
This is the gold standard of father-son casting, and I need you to understand how perfect this is. O'Shea looks so much like Ice Cube that he was the only logical choice to play him in that iconic NWA movie. And contrary to what you'd think, he wasn't just handed the role, he went through a grueling 2-year audition process to prove he could act, not just look the part. Ice Cube admitted, "I don't know if I could have done a better job playing me." O'Shea revealed he's been listening to NWA since he was 8 years old. When asked if that was appropriate, he joked it was great parenting because it's real rap. gap. This immersion let him embody the role from the inside out. In interviews, their voices are nearly identical in pitch and cadence, creating an auditory double take for listeners. O'Shea has carved his own path in action movies, but he admits the Ice Cube's son label is something he embraces rather than fights. The scowl, the eyebrows, the mean mug, it's all genetic and it's all perfect. And if you think that's genetically blessed, wait till you see this comedy dynasty.
He kept asking me for money without working for it. I'm like, this dude's hilarious.
The Wayans legacy is vast, but the resemblance between Damon Sr. and Damon Jr. is the strongest. And they've leaned into it by playing father and son on screen multiple times. In their shows, they use their resemblance as a central comedic device. The ultimate moment was when they played a father-son duo setting off fireworks together, and the scene highlighted their identical physical mannerisms. The way they run, laugh, celebrate, it's genetic. It's not just the face, though, it's the laugh. Damon Jr. has the same high-pitched, incredulous laugh his father made famous in the 90s. In their recent sitcom, the dynamic mirrors real life, a successful older legend guiding a younger version of himself. Watching them together is like watching one person at two different ages. And honestly, the comedic chemistry is off the charts because they understand each other on this deep genetic level. The Wayans family has always been about legacy, but these two specifically are proof that talent and looks both pass down. But if you want weaponized genetics, buckle up for this horror.
It is unfortunately my own smile. Yeah, that's the way my face looks.
Recently, Ray Nicholson broke into mainstream with a horror sequel, and the marketing heavily leveraged his uncanny resemblance to Jack, particularly his ability to replicate the manic grin from that iconic hotel movie. Ray joked in an interview that he was cast partly because you got a terrifying face. He admitted, "It is unfortunately my own smile. That's the way my face looks. This is weaponized genetics right here." The filmmakers knew exactly what they were doing by casting Jack's son in a movie about creepy smiles. It adds a meta layer of horror for audiences who grew up watching his dad. Ray plays a movie star in the film, adding another layer of meta commentary to the whole thing. Like his father early in his career, Ray is cutting his teeth in character roles. The eyebrows are identical, that distinct arched shape that conveys mischief instantly. And just like Jack, Ray has this intensity in his eyes that makes you uncomfortable in the best way. The fact that he's leaning into the comparison rather than running from it shows confidence. And honestly, it's working because people can't stop talking about him. And speaking of things people can't stop talking about, the eyebrows, we have to talk about the eyebrows. They are distinct, thick, and undeniably Levy. Their hit show brought this duo to global fame, but the resemblance remains a topic of fascination as they pursue new projects. Eugene revealed his heart palpitated with excitement when Dan approached him to work together because they'd never done it before, and the chemistry was instant. Fans have dedicated threads to analyzing the Levy expressions, noting that Dan's cringe face is a direct descendant of Eugene's bewildered look. In Eugene's travel show, he often references his family, and Dan's guest appearances highlight their contrasting energy. Dan is chic, Eugene is anxious, but their faces are identical. Dan has jokingly referred to his eyebrows as his only inheritance, a self-deprecating nod to their most famous feature. The resemblance goes beyond physical, though. They share this specific brand of comedy that's dry and uncomfortable and brilliant. Watching them work together, you realize the apple didn't just fall close to the tree, it landed in the exact same spot. But if you think that's a close landing, this next duo literally trolls each other about it. This pair is famous for their social media dynamic, where John Owen ruthlessly trolls his father, and it's hilarious. When Rob posted a sweaty selfie in front of his Emmy nominations, John Owen commented, "The subtle art of taking a selfie in front of our Emmy nominations." He told Jimmy Fallon, "I'm trying to keep him humble." They turned this dynamic into a Netflix show where they play a father-son duo, the dad eccentric and the son grounded. This mirrors real life, where John Owen is the responsible one despite being the child. John Owen mocked a photo of Rob wearing a knife on his belt for a sunset walk, pointing out the absurdity of his father's vanity. But beyond the trolling, the resemblance is striking. John Owen has Rob's piercing blue eyes and strong jawline, and even though he plays the nerd to Rob's jock, the genetics are undeniable. Both men are sober, and they often speak about how this shared journey has deepened their bond beyond just work and looks. The trolling is all love, and the love is all real. And if you think their dynamic is trippy, Michael played the young version of his dad on a teen drama, because they are literally identical, and the behind-the-scenes story is hilarious. Michael thought looking like his dad would get him the role easily, but he was shocked to find a waiting room full of actors who also looked like his dad. He had to actually audition and earn it. Working with his dad was trippy, especially since Mark's character wore a mustache that made him look like Michael's real-life grandfather. When Michael posted a photo from set, Kelly Ripa commented, "Son, is that you?" highlighting the confusion even the mother feels. Michael took acting classes specifically to lower his voice and match his father's cadence. The commitment to becoming his dad for the role is wild. And watching them together on screen, you genuinely can't tell if it's the same person at different ages or two different people. The facial structure, the expressions, the energy, it's all copy-paste. Mark and Kelly's genes combine perfectly in Michael, and the result is basically a time machine.
Now we're actually, we get in free tonight. It's pretty great. What was the first movie you saw at this thing?
Truman Hanks isn't primarily an actor. He wanted to be a cinematographer, but he played the younger version of his dad in a recent film, and the resemblance made it necessary. Tom Hanks defended the casting, saying,
We got the family business, you know? We've all been to movies here on our own, and now we're actually...
This is a family business, and the resemblance was crucial for the visual storytelling of the flashbacks. Truman took the role somewhat reluctantly, coached by his father on how to be him, which is such a wild concept. Critics noted Truman had the same distinct Hanks walk and posture, something that's hard to teach but easy to inherit. The genetics here go beyond just looking alike. It's in the mannerisms, the way he carries himself, the warmth he projects. Truman is proof that some things are just in the DNA and you can't fake them. Tom Hanks is America's dad, and watching Truman step into that role, even briefly, was like watching a young Tom decades ago. The fact that Truman didn't even want to be an actor makes it more interesting. Like the genes were so strong, they pulled him in anyway. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepares you for number one. And here we are at number one, and this one actually breaks my heart. Matilda Ledger is 19 now, and she's the spitting image of her dad, Heath Ledger, who we lost way too soon. Recently, she was spotted in New York City, and people couldn't believe how much she looks like him. She has his eyes, his facial expressions, that same thoughtful, gentle look he had. It's like seeing Heath's face preserved in time, which is both beautiful and devastating. Michelle Williams has been fiercely protective of Matilda's privacy, which is why we rarely see photos, but when they surface, the internet goes quiet for a second. There's something deeply emotional about watching Matilda grow up and seeing Heath in her face, knowing what could have been if he was still here. She's approaching 20, and the media has shifted from calling her Heath's baby to Heath's adult daughter, which feels like a huge milestone. Michelle has said Matilda can know her dad through his friends and films, and that's the best she can do. People who knew Heath say Matilda has his gentle energy, his creativity, his curiosity. She's living proof that he's still here in a way. This isn't just about genetics or celebrity cloning. This is about legacy and memory and love. Matilda carries her father's face and his spirit every single day, and for fans who loved Heath, that connection means absolutely everything. She's a reminder that even when we lose someone, their essence can live on in the people they leave behind. And that's why she's number one, because this resemblance isn't just striking, it's sacred. So there you have it, 21 celebrity kids who are literal clones of their parents, proving that DNA is absolutely wild. The fact that so many of these kids are stepping into the same industries as their parents, walking the same runways, acting in the same type of roles, it's like watching history repeat itself in the best way. Makes you wonder if talent and beauty really do run in the family, or if we're all just living in a simulation where faces get recycled. Either way, I'm obsessed. If this tea had you surprised, hit subscribe because we're spilling on celebrity secrets you won't believe.